Good afternoon, boys and girls. As you all know, I don't teach social studies, but today I've endeavored to do research on some of the questions. I would like us to deal with the map work on this paper. And the first question on this is the main economic activities carried out to the east part of the map is dash. The east part, you check on the compass and know where the east. The east is on this right side. And then the choices are pastoralism, mining, tourism, and trading, the main economic activities. Now, we look at some features on the map to be able to identify the economic activities that take place there. You've got the GP, and when you check on the key, GP means game park. So there is game park on the east part. There is a market on the eastern part. Then there is an airstrip on the eastern part. There is a sawmill. There's a sawmill on the eastern part. And so we check on the eastern part what we have. So according to me, it is trading as an economic activity because of the presence of the market at Kilo area. Now let's list down some. So the answer here is trading. Trade. Let's list down some economic activities that are always looked at in the map. There is the trading, like the one we have mentioned there, trading as an economic activities. There is mining as an economic activity. There is mining. There is lumbering. There is lumbering as an economic activity carried out in the area. There could be fishing. There could be fishing. There could also be what we call, apart from fishing, there could be other economic activities like farming. There could be farming, and you could name so many economic activities taken in the area. So from there we can learn it is trading because of the presence of the market. There's a sawmill. The sawmill is towards the northeastern part, so it's not to the extreme east. There's game park. There's tourism. There's also tourism. I think we can settle for tourism. Tourism is also an economic activity, and so I think it's the most easterly. So if I put a stroke tourism, that could be okay. Tourism. Let's go on, and there are so many other economic activities. Number 2, 3 of the following can be used in building and construction in 2D area, except what can be used. Let's list down some of the building materials that we have. I know we have timber as a building material. I know you have stones. Stones must be got from a quarry. We can have nails. Nails from factories. We can have nails for building. We can have sand. We can have cement. We can have cement for building, and then many other construction materials. But in this area, choice number A, bricks, reeds, you've got stones, and you've got timber. Now, when you talk about bricks, that means we must have the soil for making the bricks. And we have the quarry in that area. We have the quarry. Quarry is not for bricks, it's for stones. So stones can be used in that area. Timber can be can be used for construction because of the sawmill over there. Reeds can also be used for construction, but reeds are towards one side, so one is not used. So bricks cannot be used, except, the question is except one, and that is bricks. Bricks cannot be used. So timber is there, stones are there because of the quarry, and the reeds are there, you can see them, the papyrus reeds are there. Number 3, the source of river Dudi is found to the dash. Now source, parts of a river, endeavor to write their parts of a river. We've got the source. Source is a part of a river. Source of a river. The mouth of a river. Then another part of the river. We've got the tributaries. Now that's another part of the river. We've got the deltas. The delta. And we've got estuaries. An estuary. We've got a river confluent, and many other parts of the river confluent, and then many other parts of the river. And so the source is where the river begins. The source of the river is where it begins. And so the source of this river, Dudi, is from the forest up there, and that means from the forest, the forest is on the northern part. Let's see, we've got the northern part. The answer is the northern part. Northern part of the map. So the river is from the northern part. Question number 4. The factory found on the map is likely to process what? The factory found on the map is likely to process what? Consider the raw materials available for you to start a factory. So some of the raw materials there, we can see the trees, the forest. Forest is providing the raw materials. Let's just write trees. Forest is providing the raw materials there. They've got the quarry is providing raw materials. Stones are there, and we can see other raw materials in the map as the reeds, the papyrus reeds. Are there. They are raw materials, and so many other raw materials that can be used now. So let's see the factory found. Where is the factory? We can see the factory. The factory is here. The factory is on the northwestern part of the, and we can see it. There is the coffee farm there. So the factory there, so the coffee is the raw material there. So the factory there could be producing coffee. So we look at the raw materials, then we can deduce the kind of finished product that comes from the factory. Let's look at question number 5. Question number 5 says shrubs, vegetation found on the western part of the map indicates that the place is dash. Shrubs are an indication of semi-arid and arid areas. So here they have said the climate of the place could be either warm and hot, or cool and wet, or wet and hot, or hot and dry. The answer is hot and dry. Hot and dry. Now I took some time to look at the climatic regions. The climatic regions of Eastern Africa. The climatic regions of Eastern Africa. And I found we could be having the equatorial climate, equatorial climate. I want you to do some assignment for me. You write the characteristics of these climatic regions. I want to list down. Number 2, there is the tropical climate. And number 3, apart from the tropical climate, we've got the desert and semi-desert. Desert and semi-desert. The desert and semi-desert. Then number 4, we've got the Mediterranean. Got the Mediterranean. Number 5, we've got the warm temperate. The temperate. Generally, let's write temperate. Temperate climate. That is the warm temperate of the east coast and the temperate climate of the continental. Then we've got the mountain climate. So boys and girls, please look for the characteristics of these climatic regions of Eastern Africa. Question number 6. The main importance of the forest on the map is that it is a dash. The main important: A, a source of the river, and B, a source of firewood, C, a source of timber, and D, home for wild animals. Why is that forest there? What is its importance? It's a source of the river. That's very important. Source of the river. River source. Source of the river. The source of the river. We know it's a source of timber. Source of the trees that are used in the timber factory there. But the first more important thing is the source of the river, because the river is covering a larger area. Let's go to question number 7, and maybe the last one, or it's the last one on the map. Do the area is likely to be a dash? Is it a county? Is it a division? Is it a sub-county? Is it a location? Now let's look at some administration in any given map. I've written for you, county is administered by a governor, and it has a county may have more than one district. And so how do you know it has more than one district? We check at the district boundaries. Then we'll know that these are 2 boundaries or 3 boundaries. There are 3 districts or 2 districts. That makes a county. Then we've got a sub-county. Sub-county is led by, a sub-county is also called a district. So it's led by a district commissioner. I'm not going to write there. And then you're going to tell me how do we identify that this is a district. And then we've got a division. You're going to fill for me here and there. A location, you're going to fill for me here and there. A sub-location, you're going to fill for me here and there. Then, on the political boundaries, I want you to tell me the name of the area led by the member of parliament, the name of the area led by the member of county assembly. 2, member of parliament and a member of county assembly. Let's look at some features that are not in this map, but they are supposed to be in a map, in a typical map. You've got religion. People in a map could be either Christians, they could be Hindus, they could be Muslims, they could be Buddhists, or traditionalists. The presence of a church shows Christians. The presence of a mosque shows that they are Hindu, they are Muslims. And then the presence of a temple shows that they are Hindus. Then if there is a shrine, They are traditionalists. If there is nothing, those ones are pagans. Then settlement. We've got different types of settlements in a map. Settlements in a map. Yeah, we have got nucleated, we've got lineated, and we've got scattered. Nucleated, lineated, and scattered. I'm not writing for you. You will write them by yourself. Then we have transport network. Different types of transport. Could it be railroad? Could it be railway? What is it? The presence of an airstrip shows that there is air transport there. Is it water transport? You need to write them down. Then there's tourism. Tourism, the presence of the tourist attraction centers or sites. That shows that there is tourism. The game park, the game reserves, the museums, those sites. Then we've got the physical features. Here, physical features are divided into relief and drainage features. Relief and drainage features. Relief, we have mountains, plateaus, plains, lowlands. Those ones are relief. Then, drainage features, we've got the swamps, we've got the lakes, the rivers. Those are drainage features. Those are under physical features. Then the topography of the land. Topography is the general slope. General slope of the land. The general slope of the land, that refers to its topography. There are so many things that you need to learn and master about the map, and questions that come from a map. You can gather them from different books and different question papers, and you'll be able to understand them. Boys and girls, that marks the end of our lesson. I again tell you to do it again and again so that you are able to understand. The blank spaces left there, please fill them for me, including the other features of the map, and you will be done. Thank you so much.